Welcome into the den. Welcome into the den. You can do what you want with me right now. You can shut me down or you can let me go. What am I going to say into the next page inside a book that actually has no name besides the freedom and understanding of the rules and the laws of Zazareth? What? What? Hold on a second. Someone's speaking to me. Hold on. I need a little contact. So you spent 52 seconds into this video with me. The contact was like this. I was sitting on a beach today, on the side of the highway, a beach I've never seen in my world, 2 feet deep, in which it's actually a river, and it's just a very low river for a period of time. And I came to think, if we stopped, if we want to just correct Quebec, okay, you throw out all the money, you put in Quebec money with Quebec values. You don't go overseas and you don't go anywhere else to use your Quebec money right here. We buy, we create, we make in Quebec, even if it costs more money. You see, the way it actually evaluates that if we were doing everything ourselves, our money would have a lot more value. Maybe it'll have a little less value somewhere else. But for us, if we're doing everything inside, it's not costing. No shipping, no handling. Even if it's more expensive, I don't even know how I can get this across to make you understand. If we were all a tribe and we all did everything ourselves, we don't need anything from anybody else. What are we doing everywhere else? Why is the government investing the money that they're supposed to be using to fix hospitals and send people to school and fix roads, but they're investing it? Why are they investing it? What is a government for? You know, a town started up and they put somebody in the front to get the things done. That's all the government is for. It's the forehand of getting something done. And they went four rows forward. So what I'm going to do now is pick up one of my little books. I've been doing a little bit of writing and I'm a little bit all over the place. So I'm going to take a look and see what I have here, what I can ring up. Did I ever show you the walking? You see this arrow here, and there's an arrow here? These are the arrowheads of the Indians, okay? There's 2 here, and there's 1 here and 1 here. But while there's 2 here, there cannot be 1 here and 1 here. This is one I world. This is what it is. It's a Y letter and a Y letter comes together to make the I. You know, I sometimes is a Y, and on the angles, it's actually 120 degrees, should be all around, and that would be the Mercedes, okay? And this is the walking stick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the way it's made. You see the S inside there? That's the spring, so you can spring, so your knees and your legs will work. And you see those pokers there when it walks? Well, that's what makes all the dots that I keep talking about all the time. I've been designing this. I had it in my revelations. All these things. I mean, it's almost like what is a revelation to me? Well, sometimes it's a direct hit on something, or sometimes it's all of a sudden I'm doing some work on something, and all of a sudden I know it. It's like, oh no, it can't be done that way. It has to be done this way. So I'm going to open the light because I can't see anything that I'm doing, and this is after midnight. Hey, what's up there? Okay, so let's go back into the book and see on the last 4 pages what I did. Here's another part of the I, the same thing. It's a Y. It's the Mercedes sign. If you mark it line, 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 you'll see the triangle that it'll make. Here's the eyeball, your eyeball and this eyeball. Okay? It's the connection of this side and this side. It's almost like saying if this was a spider, this would be the front and the back, or the B. Okay? If I put these points together here and here, they would slide up and down on this. I can't explain to you what it is, but it's like the oceans that move up and down between each other to keep the hidden space between the 2 worlds, basically. Where else am I? I was into words that are first, second, and third. And what I mean by first, second, and third is the word round, ND, which means that's in the second world, or something about it is second, because it ends in ND. Trend. If there's a trend, it means more than one. Okay? It's a trend. And then in the next one, it's a bend. Or in the next one, it would be a friend. You have to have two friends. So these are all things that would have to have two. The other thing would be ND. That would, oh, we did ND, RD. RD comes in third, first, second, third, RD. So things that have RD are lard, card, okay, card. I can't tell you exactly why, but it's just means the third, in this world, it's the world of cards. Yard, in this world, it's a world where we have the yards and the dogs. I was going to do a lot of colors that fit together and why. Gray in this world would be Australia. Black, okay, and white. If I haven't told you once before, they both have the same letter count. Isn't that funny? Two opposites having the same letter count. Hot and cold. Letter count 34 and 43. The letter count of hot and cold together equals to the same letter count of Christ. I showed you that one before. Things that we haven't talked about, I may have mentioned once. If I say 99, what do you say? I say, I gotta write something down. 99 equals 1 minute, 39 seconds, which is perfect for something. 99 is perfect for something. It means 1 minute, 39 seconds. What is it perfect for, 99? Well, to make a 10-10 world, all you need is 11. And since there are two of them on each side, it's 11-11. Anyways, we're not going to get into that. The size of our world, the 36 places on Monopoly in the four corners, the 36 numbers on roulette, all combined together in one. Have I done anything yet with it? Not really. We do know in Monopoly property, okay, on the 38 board in Monopoly, okay, which would mean the three heavens, you are charged a luxury tax. So I'm telling you what it is, okay, that it's a luxury tax, and it's number 38. 38 represents the club. And like I said, when it has a U in it, you know you're involved, the club. But man is a heart, and it has no U because you're living it. Earth has no U because they say we're on it. That's why there's no U. The U is alive. It's you. And you and you and you and everybody and the one behind you too. When you start on Monopoly, right, when you go all the way around the board and you come back to go, how many do you count? You start go as 1, even though it's 0.0 or ground zero. When you get back to Monopoly, you actually count 41 spaces, making my thing on the Mediterranean the 41st space, changes it all now to the 42nd space. But like in all games, everything moves to be adjusted for a greater understanding, because don't forget they're next to each other. So that was this. That was that. Here's something funny. Your hips, okay, and your upper body, it's all to hold in all the organs so our body can function. But hips with an S, okay, with the S in the front, it says it's a ship. They say our body is a vessel, okay, and the number count for that is eternal 49. 4 by 9 is 36, 4 and 9 is 13. So they already tell you. The other thing they do is, you ever see this mask? It's actually 2 Vulcan stones, 1 on each side, or all I call it is the Indian tip. Wasn't it the 12 tribes of Moses? Didn't they always talk about tribes? Isn't tribes Indian? This whole world must be Indian then. We're all a bunch of Indians. That'd be pretty crazy, eh? My grandfather would be an Indian. I'd be an Indian Jew because my grandmother was a Jew. So I'd be an Indian and a Jew at the same time. Plus, before I was Apparently my family's like a few hundred years old, so maybe I have my great grandfather who was probably black or Latino or something. I don't know. How do I know where my family goes back to? But I have this great touch to many nations of the world inside of me, inside of me. And I know which nation the girls come from, and that's the Middle East for me. Okay, so we did this. Don't forget, this is not supposed to be, whatever I do here is just what I do. Okay, here goes the next page. I started a new book, and, oh, I burnt out my cigarette. Okay. Somebody once asked me, you see the way this looks? I'm not going to explain the whole thing. You see it's M, but it's on an angle. There's an L, and then there's an L, and then there's an L, and there's no more L. Disregard the black L, okay? Just look at the Vulcan, the stone. See the stone? The Vulcan stone again, the Vulcan stone again, and then it stops like this. Like standing up. Two legs, standing up the body, okay? If you really want to know what these are, it's saying 2 to 7 to 2 to 7 to 2 to 7 to 2 to 7. And on this side, it's going 2 9 2 9 2 9 2 9. And how is it doing this? Give me two numbers that make 9. 6 and 3. That's a 9. Okay, there's 4 of each number on the board. Okay, and 3 of each letter, but it goes back to the beginning and starts the alphabet all over again. And that's why on the piano, C is the super C for beginning. So it creates this 272, 292, 25, 625 of the Mayan calendar creates this scenario. 2 5 7 1 1 7 1 7 7 7 7 1 1 1. Queen, queen, queen. 8 8 8. Okay, there's always a way for 888. That's what it creates. This just by looking at the design. Here's a 7. Here's a 1. Yeah, anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. But I want to show you something. Okay, 2 and 5 together. Okay, here 2 and 5 together again. Here 2 and 5 together again. And what did the Mayan count? 5 and 2, 2 and 5, 5 and 2, 7. Here comes 11. And they keep on going on. Now I want to tell you another thing. The king is the 13th card in the deck. The queen is the 12th card in the deck. The jack is the 11th card in the deck. Okay? But the word jack equals 25. The two cards of king and queen equal 25. It's different from the two worlds, okay? In this world and that world, it's different. You're king, queen. You see, when you play blackjack, everybody's a 10 in blackjack. So that means in the other world, in the world of blackjack, everybody has to be considered a 10 and nothing else in the other world. You remember I told you 10 was perfect? It means we're all the same in the other world. It's only what the mind can do. So, I don't know. They used to have this guy out there called Wolfman Jack. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what great big eyes you got, Grandma. What great big teeth you got. You got 28 teeth, Grandma, and 4 wisdom teeth. 2 up here, 4 down here, 2 and 4. Letter X, number 10. Bunny rabbit, number 39. Oh, Grandma, what great big ears you got. E, A equals 6. R, 18, 6, 24. Ear. But you got 2 ears. So that's 43. Now you'd be on the Baltic. Now you'd be connected from both sides. You hear from one end and the other end of the world as it goes around. You hear all the energy coming in. So this is what I'm going to talk about for 2 seconds. These are some of the things I have to put together. I have to put together the keyboard, the roulette, the Monopoly, the chess, the pool, all sporting events, how they score their points, what the rules are, what the size of the fields are, how much time they play, if there's allowed any extra time, and all the other rules for penalties that go in, along with card games, how many cards, how many decks, How many people that play, whether it's a dealer or a bag, including whether they take a rake or not in any games, how to create the equilibrium between shapes, numbers, letters, and different worlds and bring them all together. How to see between the cars, the Honda, the Mazda, the Hyundai, Volkswagen. It means bringing on the second life. Ford finishes with RD, third. That means it's third in this world. And the initial is FD, first and last initials, which is 6 and 4, and it's exactly what it is. The other thing we have to talk about are these. When you use this against this, it becomes a jack, especially if you put this on. 1, 2, 3 pieces make a jack. We can build the whole alphabet again. I'm telling you, every single stone and everything that has been lying under the grass, if they can get it into any context, we're able to put it back together. The other word I wanted to talk about is, do you want to deliver? The minute you hear the word deliver, okay, if you think of it in French, it says to and liver. But if you revert it back to the other part in English, it says to live. Deliver, to bring to life, okay, in two parts of English and French mixed together says to live. It says the same thing. Tim Hortons is a good one. Passed by Tim Hortons like 25 times today. I was driving around the store all day long. I passed by. So I passed by the store and I took a look at the letter and I looked at it and I says, my God. I says, it's whore. It's a whore. Or means gold. Golden time. Golden time. A ton. A ton is the Mayan, the way they say time. And Tim is time. Time might. Time might backwards. So this says two. This also looks like a U. So if it was like a U, the word would say two, and that means all. All what? All time for coffee at Tim Hortons. Well, that's what I saw at Tim Hortons today. Okay, don't wind me up, because you do know wind, ND. If it blows in one direction, it's coming from another, I guess. Hypothetically speaking. Like, what the hell do I know anyways? I'm just a critter that crawled out from underneath a rock. Saw this big old computer, so I got on. Saw a guy behind me. His name was Mr. Tackpad. Became his friend. That dragon there, he hasn't eaten a thing in months. But I see his eyes are always open. Every time I'm here, he's always awake for me. So I got to make sure I take care of him. I try to feed him, but he just doesn't want to eat. Seems to be fixated inside that object he's in right now. Seems like he's in 3D, but every time I go to touch, my hand keeps hitting the backboard. So let me go on to what are we looking at next? The fire, to hire, desire. 6, 15, 18, and 15, 38. Fire says 3 worlds. Wow. Actually, it's, how come not 4? Because the 4th world's fire is actually in the oven, and we're cooking it. Everybody's got to have a place. Then we have the ocean. We have the ocean bed, and we have the bedrock. Now they're singing about bedrock. Fred and Barney were from bedrock. Wilma and Betty, and Hoppy and Dino, and Bam Bam and Pebbles. Watch out for Mr. Slate, of course. Wilma! Anyways, you got the bottom. Let the bottom be the floor. So that's one that gets to me in this project of mine. What is the bottom? Go down to the bottom. I've reached the bottom floor. So the bottom is a floor. Now it makes sense, because we're going down to the bottom floor. Otherwise, we wouldn't know where the bottom was. If I was looking at you and you were cute, I'd saw you turn around and I'd go down to your bottom floor. That'd be my kind of bottom floor I like to go to. Now what are we getting to? The word freedom. The letter count is 66. How much more can you get perfect in a word than that? Why is freedom 66? Because you ain't going east-west if you ain't got the connection of the north-south copper tone matrix silver band spirit super train that travels the boards of all life. We are moving, my friends. April 1st is the 91st day of the year. 13 cards in a suit, add them up as each the number in order, and they equal to 91. 4 seasons of an average of 91 is 364, leaving us with 1 day and 1 quarter, which is 30 hours, which is in 4 months of the year, standing for creation. And just like in the roulette, 4 by 9 is 36, and that shows you exactly how they tie together. But in a leap year, April 1st becomes the 92nd day, and February 29th is installed in that year. So now they match, because before, March 31st didn't mean anything. But in a leap year, March 31st is in a spirit day. It's the 91st day of the year, where April 1st becomes the 92nd day of the year. You do know how we make up for that 30 hours. I'm going to explain it to you real easy. You know where you ever go to a public telephone, mostly there, maybe on your calculator, but this is how it's done, okay? 1 line passes through center, and 2 more lines pass through center. The center value is a 5. Multiply it because it's the average of the totality of the lines involved. 5 by 5 by 5 equals 125, and that's what makes up the extra day, is the star key. So if this star key is in the earth, it must have made the earth bigger, so it used up that extra 30 hours in a day. Don't forget, the earth should turn around, okay? The earth should turn around in about 15 hours, and at a certain time during the summer, it's light for the whole 15 hours. So there's something a little lost in time. Again, metric time. Don't forget to deliver. Here's another thing. I'm always mentioning that number 39, which is a combination of S and T, spirit and time together, that's why it's first. ST is first, spirit and time. Without the spirit, there is no life, there is no time. That's why it's first. It's first and it's last. But also M and Z make 39, but you can't use M and Z. How often you start a word MZ? Okay, but, okay, the next one we have is Q and V. Now, how often do you put Q and V together? Because Q is the 17th letter and V is the 22nd letter, right? But in French, they say W for W, 2 V's. But in English, they say W. So now you're allowed to change the U for a W, and instead of putting QU, you're going to put QV and act like it's a U. Why? Because for the same reason the Spanish go mañana, for the same reason the Spanish exchange some of their letters, B's and B's, it's the same situation that number 5 becomes the 5th, F-I-F-T-H, okay, the face of time heaven, it's a 5th. That 5 is in between everything, it's a fag number, okay, it's a bisexual number, it's a passage, okay. So you have Q and U, so that would equal to 39, and what it means, since it's 39 and QU should actually be 38, it's 1 point more. That means the life of the U is connected. U and V, okay, the V letter says life, the U letter says you, your life. So that's pretty much concrete for number 39, because 39 is a number to know about things that are concrete. You see, eventually in the next 10 years, I'm going to learn a lot more numbers and what they mean, okay, of certain combinations, of course. Others might be initials, like MZ would be my grandmother, and she is an actual perfect 10 also. The other one, we did ST, 19th and 20th letter. In fact, one is the, this is an alpha omega where we finish the teens and start the 20s after that. The other 39 is U and R. U is the 21st letter, and R is the 18th letter. One says U of who you are. It's a 21st letter. It's the first letter. It's a primary letter. Because if you reverse 21, it's 12. You cannot go any lower than that and reverse numbers and go higher or lower. It stops and it starts at 12. Okay? So anyways, U and R would be Nibiru. So what does that mean? Nibiru, at the end of the name, has partial of 39. What does that tell you? These are all concrete things. So what is Nibiru supposed to mean to you? Because there's something concrete about this. It ends with it. If it ends with it, that means from the other side it starts with it. Okay? So instead of it being Nibiru, it's the ru of this is the street. The kangaroo is the pocket. The pocket is the center, your direction of movement. Am I an Arab? You know what? I think the Arab girls are beautiful. Okay? I don't want to hear what's on the outside of this. I only want to concentrate from the vibrations from within, from what I see. So we did that little thing over there on 39. We're going to leave it at that for now. But we must remember, I don't know what kind of hard time we're going to go through, my friends. I don't know how it's going to work. But like I said a little bit earlier on in this tape, if you buy from your neighbor and we sell it, and we stop pumping and pumping and pumping, everybody's taking too much. The more somebody makes a profit, the more somebody gets poorer. You cannot make these monies. You cannot. Money is, how do you create money? There either is or there's not. How do we keep paying and buying and losing? Either there's money or there's not. Things have to be rectified. But at the same time, do you know what law is backwards? Law backwards is a wall. The rule. Okay? The rule. And right now I'm thinking about this, that this is very strong. You see, the rule has a 54 count. Love has a 54 count. Now, does the rule equal to love? Or one of the rules are, if you want love, so they consist of the same letters. Yes, you can always play with this. You always have to play with it until it fills into its spot. You always have to learn it. So rule, okay, starts with R and U, like Nibiru, okay? But this time, it's at the beginning. And this time, the beginning is where we are. So the RU at the beginning in this world is good or not good. It's not good. That means at the end of Nibiru, that means for the good people, Nibiru is good for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? RU, Nibiru, rule, beginning, end. One is a capital R. One is the capital R at the beginning, the R letter in which the sound is AR, angel resident. Angel resident angel. I don't look, but it keeps reminding me of God, his number, RU, because he's at rule. R and a U. You want to ask a simple question, are you? 2 letters, pretty simple alphabet, and we seem to jot down a whole lot more for no reason at all. What is coming down now? They want our ass, my friends. I feel it. How do I know these little things? You know, I pick up the vibrations. I don't really go on the internet. I read a few things. I seem to see where everybody's going. I try to read the tendencies of what people say before. Somebody will say something about something, and then 6 weeks later, boom, he was right. So I'm trying to see the confidence in the people, and I basically, by reading all this, all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, I know something. I know something. I don't know what I know. It's the whole thing. Is it big? Is it small? I do know we're looking at 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks, that's what they're calling for. And it's also the calling of the cat and the dog at the end of this month. The pregnancy cycle and the eclipse from the 21st of May, if that was the correct date that I am using. I can't wait for the last one, September 15th. I really can't. I really want to know what's going to happen. I've been following that eclipse. Obviously, mostly while I was sleeping. Hypothetically, of course. There's a chance. Chance of what? There's a chance that I'd like to say as much as I can say, and I'm not sure which direction I should be going right now. Buy silver, but you got to get it not on paper. You want real silver. You don't want paper silver. I'll go make you paper mache. I'll sell you it for thousands of dollars. I'll paint you something on your wall. Real silver. Something you can put in your pocket and jingle silver. That's all you want, my friends. There's a lot of things to say. I'm running out of words. Raphael 7286.